Good morning. We're getting ready for another work trip, and today we're in Wisconsin. I've never been to Wisconsin, so I brought layers. I don't know. Yesterday I was kind of nervous to travel, and I haven't been in a while, but I was also very late to the airport and just overall behind on the day, I think. I essentially have like 10 minutes to get ready, but while I'm doing that, I want to talk to you guys about some different things that may or may not be important to you, but I want to talk about them because I want to. Now, by now, I'm sure you've seen a lot of the stuff that's going on with Palestine and Israel, and then as well as the Congo, Sudan, and a lot of other places like, Lebanon and all sorts of different. Essentially, as Americans, I will say that probably a lot of us feel like there's a lot that we can't or won't do. We have things to lose, but they do as well. They have a lot of people on both sides have lost their entire lives, but you have to understand that standing with Palestine does not make you anti-Semitic. It makes you humane. You care about humanity, okay? A lot of times on the news, they try to tell us that we don't understand the complexity of the situation, but overall, being held hostage for over 70 years in a specific space the space is getting smaller and smaller for them. And it's like, what do you want them to do? They were there first. They lived there first. That was their land that's actually being occupied. As much as I would love to tell everybody how to think and act, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to speak to the people who want to do something and give you some options in case, you want to, okay? That's it. That's it. Just some options. Little light work, okay? The first thing I would strongly suggest you do is some reading. I would suggest you read about the history of Palestine, about the Israeli occupation, and how that area was even created in 1948. And I've recently taken to reading in the airport and on my flights on my phone. So I've been reading this book called The Light in Gaza. And basically I've been crying every time I read it because they're just like you and me. It's not that different. So don't. But one thing I do urge you to not do is look away. Don't look away, because the second we look away and we stop paying attention, they get into the even worse stuff that they were originally planning to do, but they couldn't do because we were watching, okay? So yeah, number one, read and educate yourself. However you choose to do so, make sure it's reputable sources so that you're getting the correct information, not just any information you can find, because everything isn't correct, as you can see with the media and propaganda. So yeah, educate yourself, number one. I would say number two, educate others if you can. A lot of us have older parents and stuff, and they only view it a specific way because that was all the information that they had at the time. But why don't you take the time to sit down with some people in your family or prominent people in your community, and more people that we can get to understand what's going on, the more people will feel outraged and emboldened to resist and protest. Because you can't resist and protest what you don't know about. Or in this day and age, we don't have a huge political activist that we can support to speak for the Black community, or really, the Black community on big ticket issues like this. And so we have to do the educating ourselves. So that means doing your part in the community, whether putting things on your Instagram story, reposting things on TikTok, putting things on your Facebook. They seem really small, but they can have a huge impact on helping people educate themselves and breaking free from the shackles, So you have to do your part. You have to do your part. Next thing I would say, if you don't want to go that big and repost on your socials because of whatever job you do or whatever, you can text ceasefire to this phone number. Text ceasefire to this phone number. I'm going to include it right after this. And you can do that. I've been doing it every day because I want to make sure they understand that, one, I will say something. I'll put my name on it. And two, if this does not stop in the next major election, I will do everything in my power to support a candidate who strongly opposes this, and make it be known that I'm going to apply my time and energy to making sure the other person gets that candidacy slot to be able to be voted on for the presidency, because this is absolutely ridiculous. That brings me to another thing, actual political action that you can do. So you can volunteer for the next election cycle, or even your current city, town, state cycle on what the things that they're voting on next. You can volunteer with that. That is writing letters every day. If that's donating your time to work in the booths, if that's, going to your church and making sure people are educated, do whatever you can to make sure that people know the truth and see what's going on with the government right now. We basically need to make it enormously clear that we're not standing for this. And if you guys keep doing this, we're going to get you the hell out of there, because that's what we're allowed to do because we vote. Additionally, with, that political action, boycotting and protesting is so important. Like, if you look on the news, they're literally blocking Navy ships from leaving, Army ships from leaving. They're blocking them. So we can do it. It's very much possible. We have the numbers. We can do it. So you've seen those boycott lists that are going around. Check those lists. If there's a brand that you support that's on there, stop supporting them and find an alternative. If you can't give up Starbucks and McDonald's for them to rectify or stop at least what I really don't know what to tell you. I need you to think bigger than your comfort and your ease, because literally there are people dying, Kim. There are people dying. Like, be serious. You're so concerned about what is comfortable to you that you're willing to like put money in the people's pockets who are actively giving that money to other people to hurt people. Like, be serious for 1 second. I really can't. I need y'all to be serious, okay? Essentially, all I'm trying to say is that we can do more. It's definitely possible. Like, whether you want to protest, boycott, blockade, withhold your taxes, rob, whatever you want to do, but do something. Don't just sit there and look dumb. Seriously, don't. You need to be on the right side of history. And it's getting real spooky out there. So definitely keep them lifted in your prayers. Actually, the least you could do is read the news and cry. And actually show empathy, because like entire bloodlines have been wiped out and their documents are being removed from like the history archives, so that you know what, the least you could do is cry. The least you could do is care. And if you don't, then you have a bigger problem, not us. You have the bigger problem. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I'm ready. I gotta go to work. Bye.